Hey, this is Jason Dill with the Braden Herald, and it's the Varsity 24/7 football game of the week. This Friday's action. IMG Academy Stadium is the place to be. IMG Academy gets to host Boyd Anderson out of Fort Lauderdale, and here's what you need to know about this week's game. The Ascenders boast a talented roster with a lot of Division I athletes all over the place, none bigger than quarterback Kellen Mond, who has led the offense to this point. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He's committed to Texas A&M, and he's pretty much locked himself in the National Player of the Year candidate race so far. He's going to have his hands full because Boyd Anderson has a talented secondary that's looking to make things a little bit difficult for Mond this week. They are led by Daniel Wright, who's a Florida State commit. The safety is a 4-star recruit out of 247 Sports. They also have 3 other Division I commits, and they like to throw the ball too with their quarterback, a big and strong quarterback, Shabazz Telfort. So we here at the Herald, well, we were out at IMG Academy's football practice to see what they had in store for the big game this week, and we caught up with head coach Kevin Wright and quarterback Kellen Mond, and here's what they had to say.
I think, Boyd Anderson is, first of all, they're undefeated. They've had one close game all year, and, the fact that they've got tremendous athleticism and speed on both sides of football. I mean, they've got all 4 secondary members are BCS Power 5 guys. You got a big-time quarterback, so anytime you have athletes, you got a chance to score, and I think they've averaged about 50 points a game in their first 4 games. So we've got to be able to shut their offense down, and then they try and pressure you on defense and play a lot of zero coverage behind it. So we got to be able to take what they give us and make plays. So it should be a good test this week. And it's first Friday night game we played all year, so short week for us, and got to come back after the win last week. I think the big thing is we cannot give up big plays. They're a big play offense and a quick strike offense, so we got to make them drive the football, and then we got to handle their pressure. I mean, we know that we'll get a lot of zero coverage, and they're really going to challenge us on the outside, stack the box, try and take away the run game. So it's kind of a feast or famine opportunity on offense. So when we get those opportunities, we got to be able to score and take advantage of it. They like to throw the ball a lot. Yeah, I mean they a big strong quarterback, 6'4", 215. I think he's committed to Marshall, so Marshall's had a pretty good history of developing quarterbacks, and he's one of those guys that is probably a little bit under the radar, but you watch him play, and he can throw it and he can run it, and he's a big guy, so you got to be able to tackle him as well when he gets in space, but he kind of makes him go offensively. Well, I think probably the total number of athletes that you're going to have on the field and the speed that you're going to have on the field. I mean, there's guys on both sides of the ball that at any given time can make big plays, and multiple guys on both sides of the ball for both teams. So I think it's a neat opportunity to see one of the better teams from Miami. I mean, they were district champions last year, and they're hoping to go deeper in the playoffs, and so far nobody's been able to stop them. So I think it'll be a good matchup to come out and watch.
I think we're gonna have a big opportunity to give our receivers in space and have them make plays. Not really sure how they're actually going to adjust. I mean, we've seen some of the film, and that's what we're kind of going off of. A lot of teams change their defense up, knowing that they're playing us. But really, we're just going to try to utilize our big offensive line, run in between gaps, and see if we could pop some big plays and give our receivers the ball in space. Really just keep on trusting my offensive line. I know they're going to get the job done up front. I'm sure Boyd Anderson's going to try to get the ball out of my hands quick, blitz a little bit, and try to get me on my game. But I feel like if I get the ball out fast, give it to our receivers in space, they can make big plays for us.
So you've heard from Coach Wright and Kellen Mond, and despite Boyd Anderson possessing a pretty good secondary, I still expect IMG Academy to walk away with a pretty easy win, and the Ascenders, ranked number 2 in the country by USA Today, should continue to stay in that area in the conversation for the mythical national title. So this is Jason Dill, and if you need to find out more about this game, you can check it out at 7 o'clock on Friday at IMG Academy Stadium. And to learn more about Manatee County high school sports, go to our app, the Varsity 24/7 app, for your mobile device.